Picture a palace so magnificent it needs 11 different types of towers just to show off properly. Then imagine it abandoned to time and neglect. Indeed, the Château de Chambord doesn't just dominate the Loire Valley. It serves as a magnificent warning about how easily we can lose our greatest treasures. With 440 rooms that once hosted kings but later stood empty, 282 fireplaces that grew cold with time, and a Leonardo da Vinci designed staircase that witnessed centuries of silence, this architectural masterpiece nearly became France's greatest regret. Thus, in today's episode, we share with you the tale of how one of Europe's most ambitious architectural dreams nearly became a vanished relic, as we describe how France almost lost its most magnificent chateau. To approach Château de Chambord today is to experience architecture as theatre. Rising from the Loire Valley like a vision from a Renaissance dream, the chateau's massive central keep commands immediate attention, its 4 immense bastion towers anchoring the corners of what would become one of history's most ambitious architectural endeavours. Above, an intricate roofscape creates a mesmerising silhouette against the sky. A skyline often compared to that of a medieval town, with 11 distinct types of towers and 3 varieties of chimneys competing for attention in a stunning display of architectural exuberance. Step inside, and you find yourself in one of 4 vaulted hallways that form a perfect cross on each floor. At the heart of this geometric precision lies Chambord's most celebrated feature, a spectacular double-spiral staircase attributed to Leonardo da Vinci's influence. This architectural marvel allows 2 people to ascend or descend simultaneously without ever meeting, their parallel journeys illuminated from above by a lighthouse-like tower at the chateau's highest point. The sheer scale of Chambord becomes apparent as you explore its 440 rooms, encountering 282 fireplaces and 84 staircases along the way. Each space, from the royal apartments once occupied by Francis I and Louis XIV to the grandest halls, showcases the pinnacle of Renaissance craftsmanship. Even empty rooms command attention through their architectural details and precise stonework. Ascending to the roof terrace rewards visitors with breathtaking views of the surrounding landscape and an intimate look at the intricate masonry that creates Chambord's distinctive profile. From this vantage point, the recently restored French formal gardens spread out below, covering 6.5 hectares and providing a seamless transition between architecture and nature. These gardens, completed in 2017, feature over 600 trees, 800 shrubs, 200 roses, and more than 15,000 border plants, all arranged in geometric patterns that echo the mathematical precision of the chateau itself. Beyond the formal gardens lies a vast 52.5 square kilometre wooded park, enclosed by a 31-kilometre wall. This sprawling game reserve, home to red deer and diverse wildlife, offers visitors a newly created 4-kilometre canal tour. Observatories and educational supports along the route provide insight into this remarkable biological reserve, completing the experience of one of France's most ambitious architectural achievements. Yet Chambord's current grandeur masks a tumultuous history. This magnificent structure, which today stands as a testament to Renaissance ambition and architectural genius, has weathered centuries of neglect, revolution, war, and near destruction. Behind its perfectly restored facade lies a story of royal dreams, artistic innovation, revolutionary fury, and unlikely salvation. A tale that begins with a young king's ambitious vision to create not just a hunting lodge, but a statement of power that would reshape the architectural landscape of France forever. In September 1519, the marshy wilderness of France's Sologne region witnessed the beginning of an architectural revolution. Fresh from his military campaigns in Italy and intoxicated by the artistic innovations of the Italian Renaissance, King Francis I embarked on a project that would transform a humble hunting lodge into one of history's most remarkable palaces. The young monarch's vision, influenced by his deep appreciation for Italian artistry, would reshape French architecture forever. From the outset, the project's ambitions were staggering. Italian architect Domenico da Cortona's initial design centered around a medieval-inspired keep with 4 massive round towers. However, this was merely the beginning. The influence of Leonardo da Vinci, spending his final years at the nearby Château de Clos-Lucé, permeated the project through his interactions with the king and court architects. Though da Vinci would not live to see construction begin, his genius found immortality in Chambord's celebrated double helix staircase. The construction itself posed immense challenges. Up to 1,800 workers labored at the site during its peak in 1526, battling the marshy terrain that required extensive foundation work before the walls could even begin to rise. Progress suffered further setbacks during the Italian War of 1521 to 1526, as royal funds and attention were diverted to military campaigns. Francis I's ambitions for Chambord grew even grander following his return from captivity in Madrid. Around 1526, he ordered the addition of 2 wings to the central keep, one to house his personal apartments and another for a royal chapel. This expansion transformed the project from a hunting lodge into a true palace, its footprint stretching to an impressive 156 meters in length. The chateau's architecture broke new ground in French civil design. Its symmetrical layout, organized around a Greek cross plan, revolutionized French architectural thinking. The elaborate roofline, adorned with over 800 sculpted columns, created a skyline that Francis reportedly wanted to rival that of Constantinople. This harmonious blend of medieval French tradition and Italian Renaissance innovation would influence French architecture for centuries to come. Yet for all his grand ambitions, Francis I would spend only 72 days at Chambord throughout his reign. The chateau served primarily as a stage for grand hunting parties and diplomatic showmanship, most notably in 1539 when Francis entertained his rival, Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, demonstrating French cultural refinement and royal power through architectural splendor. When Francis died in 1547, Chambord remained unfinished, its fate suddenly uncertain. His son and successor, Henry II, showed little interest in the project, marking the beginning of a long period of neglect. The magnificent palace, born from one king's Renaissance dreams, would soon face decades of abandonment, its halls echoing with emptiness rather than the courtly life for which they were designed. Yet this was only the beginning of Chambord's dramatic story, as the chateau would eventually face challenges its creators could never have imagined. After decades of neglect following Francis I's death, Château de Chambord experienced a brief revival when King Louis XIII gifted the chateau to his brother Gaston, Duke of Orléans, in 1639. Gaston, recognizing the chateau's deteriorating state, initiated significant restoration efforts to save it from further decay. These renovations marked the first substantial improvements to Chambord since its initial construction. Louis XIV, the Sun King, continued the restoration work begun by his uncle, bringing his characteristic opulence to the refurbishment of the royal apartments. In a grand gesture that transformed Chambord into an impressive hunting lodge, Louis XIV constructed massive new stables capable of housing 1,200 horses. The additions allowed the king and his court to host elaborate hunting parties and entertainment, briefly returning life to the chateau's silent halls. Despite these improvements, Louis XIV's interest in Chambord proved fleeting, and by 1685 the Sun King had abandoned the chateau in favor of other royal residences, particularly Versailles. This abandonment left Chambord vulnerable to the tumultuous events that would soon unfold across France. The French Revolution of 1789 brought devastating changes to the chateau, culminating in 1792 when revolutionary authorities ordered the sale of its furnishings. The once opulent interiors were systematically stripped bare, with even the wall paneling, prized for its craftsmanship and materials, removed and sold to the highest bidder. The wooden floors, which had once supported the footsteps of kings, were torn up and sold for their timber value. In perhaps the most poignant symbol of the chateau's fall from grace, ornately carved doors that had once marked the boundaries of royal spaces were burned simply to provide warmth during the sale of the chateau's contents. The magnificent hunting lodge of kings now stood empty, its 440 rooms echoing with absence rather than life. 282 fireplaces went cold, and 84 staircases led only to abandoned chambers. Left vulnerable to the elements and decay, Chambord faced an uncertain future as the 18th century drew to a close. The once proud symbol of royal power had become a hollow shell of its former self, its stripped rooms and empty halls standing as a testament to the revolutionary fury that had swept through France. American poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, visiting in the 1830s, captured the chateau's melancholic state. All is mournful and deserted. The grass has overgrown the pavement of the courtyard, and the rude sculpture upon the walls is broken and defaced. Yet even in this state of decline, Chambord's fundamental grandeur remained, waiting for the next chapter in its remarkable story to unfold. As the 19th century progressed, new challenges and unexpected opportunities would arise, testing the resilience of this architectural masterpiece in ways its original builders could never have anticipated. The outbreak of World War II thrust an unexpected new role upon Château de Chambord. In August 1939, as war loomed on the horizon, Jacques Jaujard, the director of French National Museums, initiated a secret plan to evacuate the Louvre's priceless collections. Chambord's remote location and vast size made it the perfect choice as the primary repository for France's artistic treasures. On August 28, 1939, just days before France declared war on Germany, the Mona Lisa departed the Louvre, carefully packed in a custom-made poplar case lined with red velvet. Over the next several days, a convoy of 203 vehicles transported 1,862 wooden crates containing more than 3,600 paintings and thousands of other artifacts to Chambord. The chateau quickly became the largest of 83 repositories safeguarding France's cultural patrimony. By June 1944, Chambord housed an astonishing 4,000 cubic meters of crates filled with masterpieces. Among these treasures were iconic works such as Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa, Delacroix's Liberty Leading the People, and the Lady and the Unicorn tapestries. Throughout the war, the artworks were clandestinely moved between various chateaux to evade Nazi detection. The Mona Lisa alone was relocated 5 times, including stays at the Abbey of Loc-Dieu and the Ingres Museum in Montauban. A dedicated team of art conservators and guards was brought to the estate to protect the priceless collection. These protectors went to extraordinary lengths to ensure the collection's safety, even writing Musée du Louvre in massive letters in the surrounding fields to deter Allied bombers. On June 22, 1944, the chateau faced a heart-stopping moment when an American B-24 Liberator bomber crashed onto its lawn. Miraculously, none of the artwork sustained any damage in the incident. As the war drew to a close, the Mona Lisa finally returned to the Louvre on June 16, 1945. The departure of these artistic treasures marked the end of a brief but crucial chapter in Chambord's history. After the war, the chateau entered another period of relative neglect, its empty halls no longer guarding the nation's artistic heritage. However, this wartime role had highlighted Chambord's importance as a cultural landmark in ways its original builders could never have imagined. In 1947, comprehensive restoration work began in earnest, marking the beginning of yet another transformation in the chateau's remarkable history. The massive structure that had protected France's artistic soul during humanity's darkest hour would soon face its own renaissance, as new challenges and opportunities emerged in the post-war world. The turn of the millennium marked the beginning of Chambord's most ambitious restoration since its original construction. In 2000, The chateau launched a monumental project to restore its formal gardens to their 18th century splendor, an undertaking that would become one of France's most significant garden restorations in more than 2 decades. Completed in 2017, the garden restoration transformed 6.5 hectares of grounds into a masterpiece of French landscape design. Meticulous research drew upon historical documents, engravings, and archaeological evidence to recreate the intricate patterns that once graced the chateau's surroundings during Louis XIV's reign. The restored gardens now showcase 600 trees, 800 shrubs, 200 roses, and more than 15,000 border plants, their geometric designs reflecting the mathematical precision of the chateau itself. Yet Chambord's renaissance extends beyond mere restoration. In 2017, the chateau embraced the future by installing a groundbreaking geothermal heating system. 18 boreholes, each 200 meters deep, now tap into the Earth's natural heat, providing sustainable warmth to the vast structure. This innovative solution demonstrates how a 500-year-old monument can adapt to modern environmental challenges without compromising its historical integrity. The chateau's commitment to sustainability reaches even further, with the development of organic vegetable gardens and vineyards following permaculture principles. These initiatives create a self-sustaining ecosystem that connects visitors to the estate's agricultural heritage while reducing its environmental impact. Recent restoration work continues to address the challenges of maintaining such an enormous and complex structure. In June 2023, workers completed the delicate restoration of the chateau's 6 roof lanterns, reintegrating decorative elements that had been removed in the mid-20th century. Meanwhile, the ongoing restoration of the 32-kilometer enclosure wall serves as a training ground for young heritage restoration professionals, combining conservation with social responsibility. Looking toward the future, Chambord's management has developed Chambord 2030 Renaissance and Revolutions, a comprehensive plan addressing cultural development, restoration, ecological transition, and economic sustainability. This forward-thinking strategy ensures that the chateau will continue to captivate visitors while serving as a model for sustainable heritage management in the 21st century. Today, Francis I's dream has evolved far beyond its original concept as a hunting lodge or even a statement of royal power. Chambord stands as a living monument to the possibility of harmoniously blending past and future. Its massive silhouette still dominates the Loire Valley landscape, but now its significance extends beyond architectural splendor. The chateau demonstrates how historical monuments can adapt to modern challenges while preserving their essential character, proving that, even after 5 centuries, innovation and tradition can coexist within the same magnificent walls. 500 years after its first stone was laid, Chambord continues to surprise and inspire. The hunting lodge that became a palace, then a sanctuary for art, and now a model of sustainable preservation, proves that true Renaissance is not a single moment in history, but a continuing process of renewal and reinvention. In this latest chapter of its extraordinary story, Chambord once again leads the way forward, showing how the grandest dreams of the past can help shape a sustainable future. And now, we'd love to see you in the comments. After this video, is this chateau on your bucket list, or have you already been there before? We can't wait to hear from you, and thanks for joining us for another episode. Cheers, until the next one.